Okay, so it's been a little while. Doesn't matter why. I'm going to be kind of revamping things and getting back to a focus on true crime and the reasons I started this channel in the first place. I'll be back to reviews and whatever you want to talk about. But I am going to keep doing the little brain teasers every week. My niece moved in with me right around the time I started my channel. And it's a 1-bedroom apartment with 3 adults, 4 cats, and 2 dogs. And there just hasn't been room for me to set up anything. That's why I'm always in my car, which I actually kind of like. There's part of me that doesn't want to give it up. I've gotten used to it. I can, come out and see the birds and the change of weather. It's nice. I don't really like being cooped up in an office kind of situation, but I think it probably will help to have a more dedicated space for this. So my niece is now moving into her own place, and that is bittersweet. It's all good because she's living nearby. So I'm looking forward to the start of the new year, 2026. It should be good. But for now, to offer a little apology for missing a couple weeks and to celebrate the season, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to attach to this at the end. There is a regular normal Monday morning brain teaser that I filmed in September, right across the street at the lake on that side. And I also got distracted by geese that day. That one never got posted, so I'm going to attach that at the end of this one. But here, I'm going to read you some riddles, little Thanksgiving-themed jokes. I still don't really have an audience, but I think anyone who is watching is probably in the States. If you're not in the States, it is just a time to celebrate gratitude, to be with family, friends, whoever means something in your life, even if it's, a 4-legged friend. We all have something to be grateful for, no matter how difficult life is. It's important to take a moment and really appreciate that. And Thanksgiving is that day. I'm a historian. The whole Pilgrim Indian story is, the real one is fairly interesting, but what we in the States are taught as children is such BS that I'm not even going to touch any of the Pilgrim themed riddles that I came across. And I'm also not going to source these. I feel bad about that. I like to credit a source, but I looked at about 15 different websites for potential riddles to use, and I saw the same ones over and over and over again, and I guess they just came from the ether. I haven't been able to track them back to whatever all of these people are using as a source, and I'm looking at things over about 15 years. So somebody wrote these, somebody came up with them, and whoever you are, thank you. Now, they're not really adult level for the most part, and some of them I wouldn't even classify as riddles. But if you're going to dine with some people who are substantially smaller than you, it might be a good idea to have some of these just ready to go if there's a lull in conversation, or if you want to challenge your kids, or you don't know how to really interact with kids. For some people, it's good to have something to bring. And I hope, honestly, that you take in at least a few of these, and I'm going to do a lot of them. So this is because I love you. This is because I love the season, and because I am very grateful for my family Okay, I will stop yapping about all of that and just get to the riddles. Kids level, happy Thanksgiving. I wish you all a lot to be grateful for. Here we go. This one, I believe, was Good Housekeeping to start. Cameron Jenkins with Good Housekeeping compiled these ones, which I found elsewhere, but might as well credit where I can find people. Yeah, see, a lot of these are not riddles so much as dad jokes. Where do Thanksgiving birds go on vacation? Turkey. Why did the turkey cross the road? To prove he wasn't chicken. What do you call unhappy cranberries? Blueberries. Why did all the pecans go to space? They were astronauts. What is the key to a good dinner? Turkey. What's always full at the end of November? The Thanksgiving table. Oh, it's a little privileged, but okay. What gets placed on the table but is never eaten? A plate. What kind of key won't open any doors but fills your plate? You thought I was going to say turkey, right? It's a cookie. But that doesn't really fill your plate. I think turkey is actually more appropriate there. Can we switch that? What's the first one? It's a turkey. What is the key to a good dinner? Turkey's still better than cookie. Okay, so we'll just leave it where it is. Okay, that's kind of cute. Okay, I'm not gonna do many historical references, but some of them are kind of cute. What did the Pilgrims use to bake their bread? Mayflower. If April showers bring Mayflowers, what do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims. What did the tablecloth say to the dishes? Dinner's on me tonight. Why was the bread roll so confident? It knew it could rise to the occasion. Where do you find a turkey with no legs? Right where you left it. What smells best at Thanksgiving dinner? Your nose. Which side of the turkey has the most feathers? The outside. What happened to the turkey that got into a fight? He got the stuffing knocked out of him. On Thanksgiving, what's always in the middle of the table? The letter B. Truth. What's the sleepiest thing at the Thanksgiving table? Napkins. I'm orange and round and catch your eye. I'm also delicious when baked in a pie. What am I? A pumpkin, of course. A fruit eaten with turkey will help fill your belly. It's great as a sauce and also a jelly. What is it? Cranberry. I mean, that's really, like, hey, what color is my glove? Green. That's not a riddle. Okay, sorry. Why did the cranberries turn red? Because they saw the turkey dressing. What do you get when you cross a turkey with a centipede? 100 drumsticks. Where do turkeys go to dance? A butterball. What do you get when you cross a pumpkin with a football? A squash touchdown. I don't even really get that one. At Thanksgiving dinner, which hand should you cut the turkey with? Neither. You should use a knife. What can never be eaten at Thanksgiving dinner? Thanksgiving brunch. But you can try. No reason not to try. What is a mathematician's favorite Thanksgiving food? Sweet potato pie. Most people eat this, and that is no surprise. It tastes great as chips and also as fries. What am I? A potato. Thinking of you, John. What if I missed TCP? What is the main difference between Thanksgiving and April Fool's Day? On one, you're thankful. On the other, you're prankful. Why is Johnny always getting low grades every Thanksgiving? Because everything is marked down after the holidays. I am an agricultural season and also a moon. Take away 3 letters and I become an item of clothing. What am I? Harvest. And that, I would say, is the first actual riddle we've hit. What do you call a pet squash? You can call it anything you want. It can't hear you. If a turkey has a key and a donkey also has a key, what will you expect a monkey to have? A banana. Why did the chewing gum cross the road? It was stuck on a turkey's foot? What? Why did the pheasant, duck, turkey, and goose get into trouble? Because of their foul language. I can be hot or cold. I can be made with fruit, vegetables, or meat. Either way you see it, on a Thanksgiving table, I'm always a treat. What am I? Hi. At the start of eternity, at the end of time and space, lies the beginning of the end and the end of every place. What is it? The letter E. Why was the Thanksgiving soup so expensive? It had 24 carrots. Why did the farmer run a steamroller over his potato field on Thanksgiving Day? He wanted to harvest mashed potatoes. I need coffee after that. I'm trying. Please tell me that this entertains at least one child this season. All right, back to it. If you call a big turkey a gobbler, what do you call a little one? A goblet. What do you call a running turkey? Fast food. What is something that describes both political talk and filling up your plate of food? Choosing sides. What do you get when a turkey lays an egg on top of a barn? An egg roll. What is a turkey's favorite Thanksgiving food? Nothing. It's already stuffed. When does Christmas come before Thanksgiving? In the dictionary. What do turkeys eat for dessert? Peach cobbler. I'm actually going to make a peach cobbler this year. I never get the topping right. Why did a police officer take a turkey in for questioning? He suspected foul play. If fruit comes from fruit trees, where do turkeys come from? Poultries. If it took 3 women 4 hours to roast a turkey, how long would it take 4 women to roast the same turkey? None. The turkey's already roasted. What sound does a turkey's phone make? Wing, wing. Why do turkeys lay eggs? If they dropped them, they'd break. What's the difference between a pirate and a cranberry farmer? A pirate buries his treasure, but a cranberry farmer treasures his berries. Yeah, I'll leave that there. What did the salad say to the butter who kept making jokes? You're on a roll. What is the difference between a chicken and a turkey? Chickens celebrate Thanksgiving. That's so sad. What is the favorite sport of pumpkins and gourds? Squash. What do you call a turkey on Black Friday? Lucky. If you call a turkey on Thanksgiving, what will it say? Quack, if it's trying to survive. Why was the cranberry sauce nervous? Because it knew it would be canned. What's a turkey's favorite type of music? Anything with drumsticks. What side dish tells the best jokes? The corn, because it's corny. What kind of vegetable is the most musical? The beet. What's the best way to mend a pumpkin pie? A pumpkin patch. What's a vegetable's favorite kind of joke? A corny one. Why was the cranberry sauce upset? It was in a jam. What kind of pie makes you sleepy? An apple pie. What is shared by family but never divided? Love. What is always passed around the table but never eaten? Stories. What's the best thing to put in pumpkin pie? Your teeth. What do you call a potato that wears glasses? A spectator. Why did the cranberry stop in the middle of the road? Because it ran out of juice. What furry animal never skips Thanksgiving? The family dog under the table. What do you call a pumpkin who tells jokes? A punkin. What do you call a farm animal that loves comedy? Laughing stock. What do families pass to each other without touching? Traditions. What is always on the table but not on the menu? Silverware. Why did the farmer tell all his secrets in the cornfield? Because it was all ears. What falls all the time but never gets hurt? Autumn leaves. What do people keep from their Thanksgiving meals? Memories. What is always in the middle of the table but is never eaten? The centerpiece. What goes around but never moves? Tablecloth. Why did the pie go to the dentist? It needed a filling. What do you call a funny turkey? A comedy hen. What do you get when you cross a turkey with a ghost? A poultrygeist. What gets passed around the table but is never eaten? Salt and pepper shakers. What do you get if you divide the circumference of a pumpkin by its diameter? Pumpkin pie. What gets broken before you use it at Thanksgiving? An egg. What's the smallest room in the house on Thanksgiving? The mushroom. What flies without wings on Thanksgiving? Time. What grows bigger the more you take from it? The hole in your mashed potatoes. What do you get if you cross a turkey with a banjo? A turkey that can pluck itself. What's the best dance to do on Thanksgiving? The turkey trot. Which side of the turkey is the left side? The part that hasn't been eaten yet. What's really easy to get into and hard to get out of? Pants on Thanksgiving. 2 moms and 2 daughters are at a Thanksgiving table, yet there are only 3 people at the table. How is that possible? Finally, riddles. It's a mom, a grandma, and a daughter. Which is heavier, a ton of potatoes or a ton of turkey feathers? Neither. They weigh the same. I grow underground but have skin and eyes. What am I? A potato. Which of the Thanksgiving beverages always sounds sad? Apple cider. What is Dracula's favorite holiday after Halloween? Thanksgiving. What comes at the end of Thanksgiving? The letter G. Okay. All right, last one. First, you throw away my outside and cook the inside. Then you eat my outside and throw away my inside. What am I? Corn. I think it's good to leave it on an actual riddle. So that is it. I don't even know how many that was, but it should be enough that you can find a handful that stick with you, that you like, that you can share with people, kids or adults. You know, the holidays can be weird. They can be wonderful, and I always feel awkward around extended family, at least at first. And it's good to have little icebreakers, things to fall back on that aren't political or social or religious or economic, because right now it's not safe to talk to anyone about anything. I'm working on losing weight, and I got called out for betraying fat people and supposedly hating myself because I want to take care of my health and take better care of myself. So there's just no winning when you have a conversation right now. Americans are, I think at core, we're all good people. We're, at least the majority, almost everyone. They're just trying to get by. They're trying to live their lives. And there are too many people who are being influenced by fear. And I mean, nobody knows everything, but nobody wants to be called ignorant. So people get upset if they're told that they're acting out of ignorance, but they are. If your response is fear of something you don't know about, you're responding out of ignorance. And if you're feeling rage towards something you don't know about, someone is guiding you and manipulating your fear to make you attack others and feel that rage and anger and feel like you are under attack when you're not. When you're afraid of other people who are also just trying to pay their bills and survive right now in, you know, a housing crisis and economic instability. There's so much food insecurity, and people just don't talk because nothing is safe to talk about, and everything is so polarized to a ridiculous extent. If we could just have conversations and really talk about this, which I think we should do like 200 days a year, it would be great. I really believe that we have more in common with the neighbors who don't look or think like us than we do the politicians representing us. And I don't think that politicians have our interests at heart. And we keep voting them in, and we keep letting them get away with horrible behavior. And I think if we did all talk, we would realize that there's more similarity than difference. We would realize that what we're being shown about the other side are the extremists. And we're being told that those extremists are the average person in our opposition. So how could you not develop a defensiveness? And, I can even understand those who just have a hatred towards the other side, but they don't have anything real to justify it, because it keeps things moving. It gets you buying what they want, doing what they want, voting how they want, supporting who they want. People that are going to control you and work you into the dust and make sure that you can barely afford groceries and a roof over your family's head. And instead of looking at the corporate bosses and the political leadership, you're looking at your neighbor who's a little bit different. And you're blaming people that have even less power than you do, and cheering on people being hurt and lives being destroyed if they're on the other side. And I don't care which side you're on, cheering on suffering amongst humans is wrong. But again, this is stuff we should be discussing 200 days a year. Thanksgiving is not one of those days. Thanksgiving is a day where we should focus on the good. We should come together, love each other, talk about the things that we share and that are meaningful to us as people, as family members, as friends. We should be laughing as much as humanly possible at these gatherings. I really believe laughter is so healing and so necessary. Without laughter and music, I just don't see the point. There may be some greater design, but there are a handful of things that make it worth it while we're here. And Thanksgiving is one of those times to celebrate. And it's just a bad idea to bring up the more serious issues. As much as they need to be talked about, as much as we need to see each other, and as much as we need to represent what our friends and relatives might not understand for other people, and explain to them, or attempt to explain to them, why the other side is not the evil, stupid menace that wants to destroy all of humanity, that they're being told by, the talking heads in the news. I'm so tired of all the demonizing on both sides, but I have my leanings, I have my firm beliefs, and they're not really a secret. But even with that said, I don't see the people I disagree with as like some subhuman anomaly that doesn't deserve to exist. And I am really seeing so much of that. And I'm seeing it from the people on my side. I hate the sides thing. I don't think there are sides. I think this is purely an invention of the media, and it's influenced by corporate lobbyists to politicians who then influence media to get their way. And it is a whole system designed to keep us pointing fingers at each other, kicking down, and never looking up. But that's not what this channel is about. This is not a social justice channel. This is not a current events channel. This is not any of that. This is a true crime focused channel that likes to have a little bit of fun with ridiculous dad jokes posing as riddles, and a weekly brain teaser. I don't want to get too serious, but Thanksgiving is a day where people with really differing views are shoved into a room together with knives and hot things. And I just fell in love with Christopher Titus. The first time I saw him, he was talking about a Thanksgiving incident, which resonated very much with my dysfunctional family and things that happened. And anyway, on this day, on Turkey Day, on Thanksgiving Day, give thanks, be grateful, look at commonality, love each other. Really, that might do more for bridging the gap than even real honest conversation can do, because things are so divided right now and people aren't hearing each other. The best thing to do might be just hug each other, love each other, cook, eat, watch a game, a parade, play some music. My partner is pretty into football, and sometimes we have the game on, sometimes we have the parade on in the morning, but I'm usually cooking, so I'm not paying attention. I have music on in the kitchen with me, and that always sets me in a better mood than I would be otherwise. And I love my family, and where there are divides, we know the landmines. We know, it's mainly my brother and I have strong opinions, and there are spots that we will step over because we know it's going to explode. So as much as I don't get to see him most years, when I do, I want to make the most of it. And so I will avoid those topics and just love him. And I hope he loves me. And I know that's what we need in this world. We need the communication. We need all of the serious conversation, but it can all just come down to loving each other. That's the big thing. And if you happen to be a Christian, which we are not a Christian nation, and I am not a subscriber to an organized religion, though I was raised both Wiccan and Catholic. It's pretty open, choose your own adventure style of theology and real theology training. I was exposed to a lot of religious beliefs as a child and taught about world religion, but I wasn't forced into any particular faith. Whereas my partner was raised Mormon, and he broke away from that and is, I would say he holds a lot of beliefs without the exoskeleton of the church itself. My point was that most religions, certainly Christianity, do come down to the golden rule kind of thing: treat others the way you want to be treated and to love each other. So I know we'll probably have like 2 people see this, but please love each other. That is the best way to have a good holiday. Love each other and bad jokes. So happy holidays. I will be doing more brain teasers, and if this goes well, maybe I'll do a Christmas version, but if not, I will still do the weekly brain teasers. And come January, I have multiple things planned. Stay safe, listen to your instincts, love each other. Bye. Okay, I am back and I am focused. I'm trying so hard right now. Oh, so many birds. Oh my God, I don't know how to feel here. These people are parked illegally and they're blocking me in. I don't have to leave right now, but I don't like it when people, you know, actually block my path so I can't escape. But they've got a handicapped dog. Okay, I'll be trapped. There's no doggy ADA. I'm Chris, and I'd like to introduce you to my friends. These guys are enjoying a nice little fall rain. Love the Pacific Northwest. I've been gone for a beat, and I apologize. It's actually in the same complex. Guys, there's plenty. This is my fault. I had a bag of almonds that just, I didn't realize it had been opened. So when I went to have some, they were kind of stale and soft. So I decided to give them to the birds, and I'm causing conflict in bird world. I always admire bird world. I come out and I see geese and ducks and crows and pigeons and seagulls all living together with hummingbirds and robins, just this entire avian universe without any kind of speciesism. Unless there's almonds involved, then they get violent towards each other. I often see ducks and geese taking care of each other's kids. It's cute. And I personally have just this affinity for corvids. So I feed the crows outside my apartment every day. You're making me feel guilty for having a bird in my sink right now, defrosting. If all the bird species can get along, why can't we? I mean, really, they're crows bouncing around under geese, and geese are nipping at each other, but they still get along. One element that has been a little bit tricky is that, sorry, the crows are fighting right outside my door. Good Monday morning. It is time for a 30-second mystery. It's really hot right now. I don't want to be in my car without the AC on, so I might be a little quick this time. All right, let's jump right on in to your 30-second mystery. The case. Julio is an American citizen born in 1956. He has never been out of the country, nor has he entered a single U.S. state. The mystery. Where does Julio live, and what two states are closest to his home? The clue. Lives in a capital city on the U.S. mainland. Both states are south of the Mason-Dixon line. Both states are smaller because of the place where Julio lives. Julio is often surrounded by foreigners. Julio works and pays taxes to the IRS. Julio can take public transit to the two states closest to his home. 30 seconds. Go. Okay, here we go. It's been 30 seconds. Are you ready? Did you get it? The solution. Julio lives in Washington, D.C. Maryland and Virginia are the closest states to his home. Okay, have a wonderful week and stay hydrated. and stay cool. I know some people love the heat. I am not a fan. I wilt. I'm delicate. I wilt when it gets to 75. So when we're in the high 80s, 90s, it is a lot for me. And I know people out there will say that I am weak, I am a wimp, and that may be. That actually probably is when it comes to heat. But all of you who have, 90 degrees is no big deal. You get to 110 on hot summer days. You have air conditioning. There is no air conditioning around me. I am just, I'm in an apartment complex. We don't have air conditioning, and our pool for some reason didn't open until August. It is miserably hot. My apartment has a horrible design that allows zero ventilation. Even if I had no animals and I could leave my doors and windows open, there's no crosswind possible the way this apartment is designed. And my bedroom happens to be on the western wall. I mean, you could fry an egg on our front doorknob. It is ridiculous how hot that side of the house gets. And there's nowhere for the heat to go, so it just stays. And I've got fans, and I can't do an air conditioner because the built-in I can't do because it's an apartment complex and they won't let me. And then the window ones, my animals will just knock them out of the window, and it's dangerous for them because they're indoor only. Yeah, so we just have to get through the summer the best we can. Stay safe, listen to your instincts, and come back on Monday. Yeah, so we just have to get through the summer the best we can. And I've got thermal nail polish on, which is kind of cute, except I have to press it, I'm pressing, against something cold to even get a hint of the change, and then it disappears quickly. If I had, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm just gonna pop a lid, dip my fingers in, because I have a lot of ice in here, and then you can see the difference in color that it's supposed to be. And I'll sit here for a minute and dry it and see how long it takes for it to go back to light pink. Oh, I would so prefer it be the other way around, but in winter when it's cold out, it's going to be more purple and have pink edges, which I prefer. Oh, this is so boring for people that just are interested in a little brain teaser to get their week started. I mean, this is watching paint dry in a way. I mean, the actual paint part is already dry, but yeah, so most of the purple's already gone. I got the tips. It kind of looks like a French tip on a couple. So I got my pink, but oh yeah, it's pretty much gone on everything but the middle. And I think I might have just done it a little thicker on this nail. So maybe a second coat and I would get more purple. All right, and come back on Monday, because I will be sad if you don't, and feel guilty about how many Mondays I've missed, and feel abandoned and like you've given up on me, because I am chaos in my brain and I miss Mondays often just because I don't realize it's Monday. I can have a video filmed and ready to go, and I remind myself it's Monday, gotta go out Monday. And then on Monday, it doesn't occur to me that the day is Monday. I'm trying to work on that. I have a friend who's supposed to be reminding me, and we're trying to do some stuff, some push each other support stuff to get on track. And I hope it works, because I have some really fun ideas of things I'd like to do, and she's cool, and she's got her own thing, and I would like for us both to have a wider audience, to, you know, get in touch with people, be able to communicate, be fun. Okay. I will be here next Monday. I really will. I know I will. I'm setting an alarm on my other phone right now. This phone with my lucky door knocker. I am setting an alarm that I will post a video on Monday, the 15th. Yes, it is Kobe's birthday. Yay, my nephew. Okay. Stay safe, listen to your instincts, and I will see you soon. Bye. He has never been out of the country. Good Monday. Move that out of the way.